ran some blood work on me, and I let them know it was what I thought it was, and they're like, there are no brown recluses in California.
Yeah, I was gonna look that up because I'm like, I don't know if there's any brown recluses.
I don't know about that one, but pretty sure there are. But the doctors say you're okay, and there isn't.
We had a gremlin from the audience say that it could come in with the lumber. I'll tell you what though. Most anything can happen because you can have fiddlebacks. You can have some. I mean, heck, some people come from Oklahoma and they could bring a fiddleback with them. So, or all you Texas freaks out there. So, but anyway, all right. Did you text Tim?
I did. And
all right. Now we are texting Tim Stell to ask him a question about it. So let's go on here and man, that is not. I wish this had a wider. But anyway, so let's talk about. I have a guy that. Well, okay. Did you catch the Data 5000 show that we did 2 Sundays ago?
I did not.
All right. Well, you need to go on YouTube. It's and check it out. Check out the. Now he has a fight. I'm going to talk to him, and I thought of you, and I was going to talk to you. Matter of fact, I won't even mention it, and I'll talk to you after the show about it. But there's something that I think you'd be highly interested in doing, and it's representing your country.
Hell yeah.
So, all right. Well, first off, we're just going off of, or coming off of Memorial Day, and it was, first off, I'd like to thank everybody, yourself included, for the service, and then my condolences to all of the fallen. I think right now, since this war has been going on in the Middle East, 5,000 soldiers have lost their lives. So it's a senseless freaking war. Yeah. And if it was me, I would just... That's probably a good thing I'm not president, because I would just go over there and just freaking annihilate them. And I would save 5,000 lives right there. Of our own lives. I'd kill a lot of people, but I just think if you want to come over here and bomb us and jack with us, well, I'll tell you what.
Come on down.
We got some rednecks in the U.S., so
I'll tell you
they'd love to.
There was something that's going on Facebook, and I know it's a bunch of BS, but they're trying to say, well, we're going to microchip every American in 2017. First off, try and microchip me and see how that happens. I will, in a minute, I will move to Montana, or I will move to Wyoming somewhere and join a militia freaking group out there. And I will be like...
Oregon's right up the coast.
Yeah, I'm actually Oregon militia, so...
They'd be like, hey, when it comes to militias, there's more than you think out there.
But yeah, I would definitely do that. But anyway, all right. So I don't know. So let's let's step into something here. So let's talk about the fight coming up in July. So you how long? Well, first off, the fight's I'm assuming going to be on a Saturday.
I assume so, yeah.
Okay, so are you going up there? I'm guessing, or do you want to go up there maybe on a Thursday or Friday, or does that all go on whether or not they're paying for the hotel room?
That is true. We haven't really worked out a lot of details. They kind of leave me in the dark till the last moment.
All right,
spring it on me.
So dig this. If you get a hotel room, I don't care if it's a Motel 6 or anything like that, you're looking at, on a weekend, especially Palm Springs area, you're looking at...
Close to $100.
I'll just say $100. We'll just say at Ben Franklin right there. So, they're going to give you 3. You already got to do 100 for the room, and then there and back, gas is going to cost you another $75 there and back.
Sounds about right.
So we're at 175, and then that only leaves you 125 in your pocket.
Pretty much. And
you gotta eat.
Trust me, the paycheck will be toast before I even leave the city.
All right. So why? Okay. Now, Gladiator Challenge. I know how much they sell those tickets for. And I know the general admissions are $45-$50, and then I know they're the closer you get, and then I know there's $150 tickets and $250. Now we'll just say for the sake of math that Gladiator Challenge made $20,000 that fight. We'll just say for the sake of it. Now on the lower cards, do the fighters get paid a little less than the higher card fights, or is it just, hey, we're giving you $300, or we're gonna get? I guarantee you, Dave Huckabee didn't get no $300.
Oh heck no, he didn't get no $300. He got paid a heck of a lot more than that, and the guy that fought him got paid $800 just to show up and fight him.
Man.
So I
I'd
mean,
have fought him for $800, man.
and he was that guy that fought him was so rookie new.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I think that was his first pro cage fight in like ever.
Yeah.
I give him props for getting that.
Yeah, I did.
I got mad props. I actually pulled him up, and he's going to be joining Team Fallout. So hopefully we can advance his career, advance mine, and gain more fan base.
So, all right. So, what do you say to these companies that are making arseloads of money? And I'm not saying that. Yeah, there's fair money. And then there's slave money.
Making money's good.
But I will tell you this. If you're getting paid, hey man, I want you to drive down to Palm Springs. I'm going to give you $300, but you're only going to walk away maybe. That's slave money.
Yeah.
So now if someone, you said you were doing your research this past week. So what do you think that you're worth for a fight?
Well, 1 through 5 as a pro, you're supposed to be making about $2,500. I mean, you shouldn't be taking a fight for anything less than that as a pro.
All right. So, what do you say? Now, you got MMA fighters that are coming up. You got my daughter who's 14 years old who wants to get into MMA. You've got, I don't know if you met him in the back. Did you meet Christian Sharkey?
I might have. I'm not really good with names, but I do recognize faces.
Faces are cool. But anyway, that was his second fight. So, like fighters coming up, what do you say to them? Do you say, hey man, let's what do you say to them? I mean, well, Sean Tucker just joined, and Sean Tucker fights with Christian Sharkey. So,
what's up, Sean? I actually try to pull up as many of the independent fighters as I can. If they do want to fight with my company, I don't care if you're anywhere. I mean, I don't have a lot of resources, but I've actually got myself all the way pro by myself, so I'm doing pretty good as a small-time fight manager. Money-wise, I don't do very well, but I let everybody know that in the beginning. All
right. Hey, Sean, you're online here. Let me ask you this question: would you take a fight 400 or 500 miles away for $300? Yes or no? So while he's thinking about that, let me ask you this, and that's nothing to dig on you. I mean, I'm just saying that there are a lot of these companies, and I'm not saying that they are, but there's a lot of companies out there that. Okay, I'll just say this. West Coast pays different than Gladiator. Gladiator pays different than King of the Cage. King of the Cage pays different than GKO. And they're all different. So why do you think that there isn't a commonality amongst fight corporations that say, okay, so if you're this level, across the board, everyone's going to get paid this much to show up. If you win, then you get this much.
I just figured it was because I was too cocky and they were just trying to take me down a peg. But it seems like I'm not the only one they've been doing this to, and it's actually pretty criminal and messed up that they would try to take advantage of somebody that works their entire life to just follow their dream, and you're like taking it from them. So, all right, I totally get that.
Let me ask you this. When you initially got your paycheck at the end of the fight on the 21st, was it the number that you were told?
No.
Okay.
That was pretty interesting.
So, tell me about that.
Okay, so I get paid to go to the fight. They hand me the paycheck. I look at it. It's $200. Well, I signed the contract for $300 and a bonus $500 if I won the fight.
They have to stick to the contract.
They have to stick to the contract. I actually gave him the ticket back and told him he needed it more than I do.
Ah, wow. Hey, we got Jeff Copley that just joined. So what's up, Jeff? Actually, Jeff was at the fight, the 21st. So, Jeff, if you have a question for Mr. Wright here, you go ahead and ask that. We're talking about... Did you have a question, Sean?
Well, no, I was going to say this has been a problem, and I will just say this in general, through the local industry like that, and I won't say which entity, but it's been a problem for a while.
Yeah.
The people have been getting jerked around by these guys, and I'll just leave it in a general term. Not only just the fighters, but other entities that do service, security, other things.
I don't even want to know what the camera guys get paid.
This whole thing where, well, after the event's over, no, they had to wait around for hours while the money's counted and all this stuff. Service is done, event's done, they should be paid right there.
That is one thing I will give Jose Cortez. What's up, brother? Hey, Jose, if you're watching, I did put in my press credentials like 3 weeks ago for August's fight, so that better be early enough, brother. I don't want to hear that you don't have any tickets for me. So, so let me ask you this. I totally forgot my damn question. Oh, yeah. So, Jose, he does do this. And I will say this about GKO. When you're done fighting, just like I said earlier, they have an envelope. You winner, you walk through, there's two people. Here's your envelope, here's your envelope. They give you your right then and there. And it's cash money. And Jose goes around after the end of the fight and say, hey, man, fight of the night. Here's an extra $1,000 for you. Knockout of the night. Here's an extra $1,000 for you.
That's the way. If he's doing it like that, I give him props because that's the way it's supposed to be done. Because there's one entity specifically who makes people wait all night long. I mean,
because now you're turning it into a challenge.
Wait 5 hours after the fight was over to get paid.
And honestly, that's actually a good policy because the fighters honestly need to be sticking around after the venue to like meet and greet with other fans that are in the area.
No,
I think I don't
know. We are being paid quite a bit of money.
I'm going to take this in half here. I'm going to agree with both of you in this fashion, and here's why. Here what we got, guys. After the fight, so the fight ends at 10. So there's going to be a meet and greet from 10 to 10:30. So or 10 to 10:45, and we'll pay you at 11 o'clock.
That sounds great.
The other side of that, though. They wait 5 hours, and then they get paid half or less than half of what they were originally supposed to be paid.
I can see that.
And it's like you address it to the person who paid you, and they just look at you and say, "Well,
up there.
This is what I've heard personally myself. Well, this is only less than half of what I got paid," and they're like, "Well, that's what we got." What do you mean that's what you got? You just sold out your event.
Do it.
You know what I'm saying? And you're telling me that's what you got? So it's basically you're stuck with it, or give me back the money I gave you.
Pretty much.
That's what bothers me even more. So, I mean, hanging around afterwards doing a meet and greet, that's okay. That's cool for 5 hours.
Yeah, if the money's right, then yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah. So
I do it pure on passion, so.
$1,000?
$2,000. I will sit there all damn night signing autographs.
That's crazy. The process has to be more streamlined.
Oh yeah.
And if Juan, that's his name?
Huh?
Juan?
Jose.
If Jose's doing that, then hats off to him.
Oh yeah.
If he has the envelopes ready and people getting paid right on, fight of the night, whatever, hit of the night, whatever,
The other thing I was going to bring up is, they just jam pack us in a back room. They don't even bother to separate us other than with a banner.
That is one thing that I will say. Now with
it's like a tuna can.
With NorCal Fight Series, I remember their fight was the first one was at a skating rink, and they move it that way a little. That way. I'm lost. My train of thought. Oh yeah. So they took the skating ring out. They put the ring in the center of the skating rink, and they had back where the locker rooms are and everything. They had literally a tarp, and it separated them. And then they put everything in the back and but yeah, it was separated with a tarp. So yeah, I was back there when they were doing the rules and everything, and there was actually a couple fighters that didn't even show up.
Yeah.
Like Idris Watsi, I was like, "What's up?" And I was going to text him and ask him where he was, but I didn't want to piss him off. So what does it say? Oh, well, one person said the dude who fought David Huckabee was a chump. So that's what one person said.
I got a comment on that one.
Go ahead.
You know, it's easy to call names like that when it's your first pro fight. Or, shit, I think the guy only fought about 10 fights altogether in his life. So, I think that was pretty damn ballsy what he did. And the whole time behind backstage, he was just happy to even be there. And how many hits did he actually land?
Fighters that
actually pure heart, dude.
Arrested.
And two back down.
Two back
him
down.
Stepping up allowed people to see what they can. A lot of people came to see all the fights.
Oh, dude.
A lot of people came to see Dave.
A lot of tough guys.
If he hadn't stepped up, there'd been no fight.
Won't do it.
If that guy hadn't stepped up, there'd been no fight probably.
Yeah, there wouldn't have. And the guy that, oh man.
And Dave felt bad like he was letting the fans down.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys were pucking out and going home. Other than the guy that got arrested.
Now, I will tell you this, that a lot of these fights, I don't care if it's West Coast, GKO, whatever, there are a lot of fighters that they'll have the fight card, but then a fighter will back out, or there was one, NorCal Fight Series 1, fighter was afraid. He was straight up afraid, and then and the dude, the MMA Gold said, no, you're fighting, man.
You know, you actually see that a lot back there. Some guys actually cry before the fight. Some puke. Some can't stop going to the bathroom. It's not that big of a deal. I've been fighting all my life, so I enjoy getting out there. It's just a little nervous when you see a bunch of people.
What about that hit of the night?
Oh, I love it.
That one guy, boom. The dude
Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah, and the dude who fought, we tried to interview him, and
he was pissed.
He ended up not wanting to be interviewed.
He was pissed. Now, he almost didn't go to I was standing in the center of the ring, and he didn't want to go and shake Michael's hand or anything, but he was pissed. But you know what? There's you could be mad, but be a sport about it. And I talked to his wife, and I'm like, hey man, I know he's pissed, but I still want to interview him. And then he said, yeah, I'll interview. But then when he walked out, he's like, man, I don't want to talk. And he just walked out the exit. I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, I understand you being mad, but
gotta take the good with the bad.
You do.
Absolutely.
And I used to fight in the Tough Man contest back in the day, and that was straight up brawling.
I remember those.
I remember the first fight I did, I had the worst freaking headache, man. And but you get you win fights, you lose fights, but you learn from those fights, I think. And but I mean, the dude, he straight got knocked out. I mean, I saw the right cross he did when he got hit. I'm sorry to laugh at you, dude, if you're watching, but he got hit and his arms just went to his side and he just fell like freaking maybe Goliath did when David hit him in the head.
It was an amazing hit.
It was awesome, and I think Sean got it. I didn't go through all the pictures yet.
Yeah, I was wanting to see because
I think he got it.
As he was, boom, like that. The only thing I regret is I didn't hit the button where it went like that.
Yeah,
got him.
But it was the dude was out. So let me ask you this. Let me see what. Just wanted to give a shout out. Good luck, brother. You need to make money too. All right. Hey, thanks for that, Jeff. Yes. So who's been your in your mind your toughest opponent that you fought?
That's actually a good question. I would have to say
a bit narcissistic. No, I'm kidding.
Josh San Diego. He went into Bellator after the fight. He straight knocked me out. I think he got a little lucky with timing, but he's a pretty good fighter, very respectful, and his sportsmanship's phenomenal. Him and Jason Powell were just awesome.
Have you ever had a fighter that you've beat that you try to say, hey man, what's up, and give them a whatever, you high five, shake, whatever after a fight, and them either not want to shake your hand, slap your hand away, flip you off, whatever?
I've even had people send other people after me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they just don't want to fight me. And you get guys that weren't trained in a lot of mixed martial arts before you get to the amateur and pro, and they're really not trying to stand with somebody that actually knows a little something.
All right, so what has been, who has been your most, we'll say, arrogant fighter that you have fought, and then when you got into that octagon, you straight took him to task?
Dre Mitchell, if you're watching this, you know damn well that I would have beat you if it would have gone any longer. And if you wouldn't have had Randy Lacey, my personal trainer, training you how to beat me,
are we talking Dre
I would have
Lion Mitchell?
We are, Little Lion. Yeah, I want the rematch.
Wow.
I want to show you what's up. And this time, I'm taking your belt, and I'm taking, I don't know, whatever else I can get from you.
Pride, maybe? Pride. Hey, we're talking about Lions. Pride.
Hey,
Dre. He was on the show. Dre, if you're watching, man,
this is the one who broke his hand.
that phone, we would text him.
Yeah, call now, Dre.
The one that broke his
I
hand.
am loving to hear this.
That was the one I told you that I saw. He broke his hand.
Dre.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
I'll tell you what.
Can't help but laugh. I wish I had a pizza for you.
We got it on. I said, okay, Dre, and you say the Little Lion Mitchell. So I'll have him watch this little show here. And Dre, let's see if we can't get a rematch here.
Get it on.
Let's get it on.
So
I've been begging for that one.
all right. So now, okay, let me ask you this. So we'll put Dre Mitchell over here in this little box. Is there some other fighters, 1, 2, or whomever, that you want to target and be like, I want to rematch with you, or I want to fight you?
Well, I've never fought him yet, but I'd like to have a shot at Floyd Mayweather.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Well.
He's a boxer and a mixed martial artist. Let's see how his wrestling game is.
All right, so, okay, let's go a little, let me see, what movie was this? Let's go a little Rocky 3.
Ooh.
So at the end of Rocky 3, Apollo Creed says, hey, we're going to handle this once and for all. Because Rocky won run, Apollo, and they were, tied. And so at the end of the movie, you hear ding, ding, and they both throw punches and fade to black. So they went into a private gym, and nobody knew, there's no fans or anything. So if Floyd said, you know what, man? All right, I'll take you on that. I'll tell you what. I'll give you, we'll just say for the sake of math, $5,000 just for showing up. And
all day.
And if you beat me, I will give you, we'll say $50,000. And now, are you wanting to fight him boxing, or are you wanting to fight him MMA style?
The only rule I would like to say is, if it goes to the ground and I get knocked out, keep going.
Okay.
I want to see blood.
All right. So, okay, now before we go a little bit further on this, now, I always like to give everybody a chance to give out shout-outs.
Yeah.
Anybody that you want to give a shout-out to, anything, anybody, sponsors, whomever.
My old coach, David Doman from Crane High School. Hey, you've advanced me into my career this long, and many thanks to you and Jerry Holloway. Without you guys, I would have never got here. And all you at U of O, the old wrestling staff and whatnot.
Are we talking University of Oregon?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Hey,
Go Ducks.
Ducks! All right.
should we go to our last commercial before?
No, not yet. So, all right. One thing I will say, so we got Dre Mitchell, we got Floyd Mayweather. Matter of fact,
Hell, I even take a stab at McGregor. He's on his way down.
oh dear God, man,
Yeah!
the fire burning here.
Hey, he's an Irishman too, so it'll be good. Two Irishmen going at each other. That's
right.
gonna be a fight.
All right, so maybe, and I know McGregor.
Nick Diaz. Hey, I don't even want to see you yet, dude. We'll save that one later.
Are we talking Nick or Nate?
Nick.
Nick.
I've got a lot of respect for that guy.
All right. So, all right. So now let's. You brought up his name. Let's talk about Conor McGregor. Now,
Yeah.
you know he's all about the money. He's all about this and that. So, do you think that his hype in press conferences and everything? Do you think that's all it is hype, Or do you think...
Absolutely.
All right. So do you think he's as good as he says he is, or he thinks he is?
Oh, I'm not doubting that he's pretty damn good. I mean, you look at his record alone, and you look at his career, and you can tell the guy knows what he's doing inside and outside of the cage. So, I mean, we're all running Fortune 500 businesses here, so let's not be coy. That guy knows what he's doing.
All right, so let's... So would you say take a fight? Are you the kind of guy that will take a fight anywhere, anytime, anyone, as long as they're within a certain parameter of the weight class? How much more of a jump would you go in weight class? Say someone...
I'd go all the way up to 160.
Okay, I was going to.
And I'd go as low as 135, but you'd have to give me time to get down to that. But yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this: do you think that? Because, see, I go to the gym 5 days a week. Me, personally, I love to lift heavy weights. I love it. To me, I'm conquering that because I'm lifting heavy weights. That's me. I've always been, I was picked on a lot growing up, and I was 155 pounds when I started lifting. Now I'm 243. There's a big difference there. Now, do you think, and I know size doesn't matter in MMA. I know that. But do you think that pressing a good weight, we'll just say a bench press, getting that bench press up, so if someone's on you on your ground game, you've got the strength that you could defend a little bit better, push them off a little bit better on that aspect?
You know, just because you lift a lot of weights and you're doing like 300 bench press for 3 times, squatting 300, you know, that doesn't make you quick, that doesn't make you stronger. If anything, it's only slowing you down. But because muscles, I don't care who you are, if you're not lean, after a period of time, big guys, you just get tired.
And I will say this. I will go all the way back to UFC 1. Kent Shamrock, Hoist Gracie. Hoist Gracie's tall, lanky, skinny. He's kind of like that light post right there. And Kent Shamrock is a freaking beefy bulldog, steroid-ridden freak. I'm sorry, Kent.
Little guy.
I can't even lie. So, so Hoist freaking beat him. They fought again, beat him. Every time they fight, Hoist. So it's not about. I've been to World's Strongest Man, not as a competitor, but as an observer, and I've seen big old country boys do stuff, and I've seen this guy rock freaking shredded, tired out that quick, man.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I'm saying is, look at Nick Diaz, and the guy's not shredded,
right?
But he goes in there with a little bit of meat on his bones.
Yeah.
But he's training his butt off. You know he is. It's all over his blogs.
Right.
And he just goes in there and just tore up McGregor and just...
He bitch slapped McGregor, dude. You know, I'm sorry to say, but that he did. And but this is what makes me kind of laugh that night, because you had... well, first off, you had, I call them the UFC love children. You have Ronda Rousey and McGregor. So Rousey gets beat by Holly Holm. Holly Holm fights Miesha Tate. And they pretty much both, Holm and McGregor got choked out almost in the same way. And they tapped. So the love children at that time both got defeated. Now, I'm pretty sure, especially by talking to people that know Nate Diaz, they told me that Nate said that he feels that the UFC picked him because they knew he was kind of a patsy kind of fighter. He's not ready for it. He's going to lose. So McGregor was going to be this big god that had 2 belts and 2 weight classes. And from what I understand, he was on a beach somewhere sipping on whatever drink he was a couple of weeks before the fight. Yeah. And so he goes in and he shocks the MMA world. And
it's all up here.
So what do you do? So say you jump up to 160 and you're 145 right now.
Absolutely.
So we're 15 pounds. So what type of pounds are you going to put on, and how are you going to do that for 15 pounds?
Lots of steak, lots of mashed potatoes. I'm talking about Southern cooking. Yeah.
Wait, we got Keto Andrews that just joined. Don't think this guy knows what he is talking about. Oh, okay. So we got Keto Andrews chiming in.
Maybe not.
First off, Keto, thank you very much for your statement, and thank you for watching. But I would say that you're right when it comes to size and whatnot. When it comes to the MMA, there really is no. I mean, because I will tell you this: a lot of guys that lift a lot of weight, they're arrogant. I mean, I'm not arrogant, but I mean, a lot of guys do that, so they think that they can conquer anybody.
Right.
But all right, so let's jump and your top three guys. You got Dre Mitchell, and
let's get this clear though. I'm only looking to best Dre Mitchell. The other ones, it's purely just publicity.
Okay. So so 160. So who else? Give me your top three. So let's take, we got Dre Mitchell. So we got the other two that you mentioned that are up here on a higher shelf. So let's talk in a reality realm right here. So give me two other people that you want to go for.
In a reality realm, Dre Mitchell for sure. We just got bad blood, and I feel like it needs to be resolved. I feel like I got shafted, and I was besting him, and he only won that fight due to a Kimura that my trainer was teaching him after training me after every training session. So, thanks, Randy. I wouldn't even hesitate even about fighting Josh San Diego again. That's a good guy, and it's an awesome, worthy opponent for me, realistically. And, I mean, he fights for Bellator now, so, I mean, I've already stood to that guy. But let's face it, I'm ranked at 163, okay, within the U.S. I've already fought guys that are in Bellator.
Okay. So, all right. So, So we'll get off on that subject for a little bit. So let me ask you this. So we've got different fight camps, if you will. So you got your MMA Gold. You got Team Alpha Male. You've got all of these different little camps going on. Now, do you think, in your experience, do you think that there's animosity amongst those camps, not within each other, Civil War wise, but like between these people? Because I know some people that have, I won't mention what camps, but I know some people that have fought for this camp over here. Something will happen, so they left there and went over here, and there's animosity there. But do you think that automatically, we'll just use Team Alpha Male and MMA Gold, do you think that that those guys naturally don't like each other, guys, gals, whomever?
No, actually, I know a few guys from MMA Gold, and kicked it with Gremlin Gruber, so he's one of my good friends. They actually have a lot of respect for each other. It's a lot of camaraderie between MMA gyms and the MMA fighters and the promoters and stuff, but I could see how it could get a little testy at times. It is fighting.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So, and we're going to jump back to May 21st. Now, when you lost your fight, you jumped up with a smile on your face. So what was that smile for? Was that a smile like you can't believe what just happened, or what was that smile for?
I made a rookie mistake. But
okay, you just said you made a rookie mistake. You got over 100 fights in you, so that would be like LeBron James saying, I made a rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's something as simple as not pulling your arm out of a move and not transitioning to the next move. In jiu-jitsu, if you stop moving just a second, you're going to get caught if you don't counter. But Kimuras and the rear naked chokes and triangle chokes, I mean, my neck just hangs out there apparently, and they just love to snatch it up. And it's one of my biggest things to protect against, and I haven't yet.
All right, so couple more minutes. We got about 10 or so minutes left. And so what did you learn from the loss on the 21st?
Well, even though I said that I was going to go in there and do a point system and taking it longer standing out the whole 3 rounds.
So you went in there thinking that you were going to... Excuse me. Let me retract that. You went in there telling yourself, I'm going to go the full 3 rounds and just get points.
But then it after that first kick, I was just like, you know what? This guy's got a good stand-up game and a hell of a kick, so
okay.
I just want to get this all done. And then I just charged in it too fast.
Okay.
Rookie mistake, and that's stuff like that are the $1,000 worth of mess-ups.
All right, so we're gonna keep you right here, and actually we got a few more minutes. Now we're gonna talk a little bit on, and you're more than welcome to chime in on this. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA and MLB, and then we'll finish up. So right now, there is a gentleman that plays for the Sacramento Queens, and, well, he may not after this. Darren Collison was arrested for not, and I'm not trying to downplay domestic violence, but we're not talking just your little domestic violence. We're talking about felony domestic violence, was booked in Placer County Jail, and released on $55,000 bond. Now, again, we have a dude beating on a woman, and that's one thing that I tell my daughter, and I teach my daughter from now until she grows up. And I've told her, and I've taught her some things. I said, if a dude ever puts his hand on you, you break his arm off at the elbow and you beat him with it. I don't care what. There's not a reason. The only reason to put your hands on a woman is to hold her, to kind of calm her down a little bit, and just say, calm down, because you're not really hurting. Just hold her, or get away from her. You don't need to hit him. You don't need to slap him.
No.
You don't need to, because this guy, I mean, I don't care what he does from here on out in his life. I don't care. This guy, I believe, is 23 years old. This is going to follow him forever.
Athletes are not learning. From basketball to MLB to...
No, I mean, because you got your NFL, you got all this. Now, you have a daughter. Now, granted, she's, what, 4 right now?
4.
So, 4. So, let's fast forward 20 years. And she's 24. Now, as she grows up, what are you going to teach her about... Because there's one girl that I know right now, and she gets hit on quite a bit. And she's been talked to about it. She keeps going back to the guy. Well, it was my fault. Or, well, you know, I might have done something to make him mad. That's a bunch of BS. It's never your fault, for one. And number 2, what do you say? What would you say to your daughter if anything like that happened?
Well, I think Daddy needs to come out and clean his damn shotgun a little bit more often than he has, if at that point. So I think there needs to be a father-son talk. Or
well, I'll tell you what. I have a son, and I'm gonna, and he's only 7 right now. But I'm gonna teach him from growing up. I said, first, don't do it, man. Just don't be stupid. The best thing to do is freaking walk away, man.
Absolutely,
walk away, because I'll tell you what. If you walk away, they'll be pissed for a couple hours. You'll be pissed, and then you guys, hey man, I'm gonna come home. Is everything cool? It is not worth, because I know things happen in the heat of whatever it is, whether you're drinking, whatever. But that doesn't need to happen. These guys, these athletes, need to be taught, whether it's in school or whether it's from the coach or something like that, and they need to freaking have some kind of class or something about domestic violence. This is getting out of control. Too many people. It was several in the NFL. Now it's the NBA, and I know it's in all sports, but you gotta freaking put a lid on this. And this cat, not only they need to come down hard on him, and I'm not just saying put him in jail or anything. No, he needs to go to classes. He needs to pay a fine. He needs to do community service. He needs to go to women's battered shelters. Am I saying that right?
Class.
Battered women's shelters, and go talk to these women and let women talk to him about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway,
I don't have too much more to say about it, just because the other athletes are not watching other athletes get in trouble. They're not learning from it.
Right.
Like, it can't happen to me.
Right.
It can't happen to me. Well,
so
it's happening.
This cat is due in court July 11th, and if we are in town, we're going to be up in Placer County Court, and we're going to cover that. So, on a more positive note, now I know you're a Warriors fan. Well, you're anything Bay Area fan. Who do you follow in basketball? You're from Oregon, so I know.
I really don't, but if I had to pick anybody, it would be the Chicago Bulls.
Okay. All right. Well, they're not in the playoffs.
But I haven't watched anything in a
I
while.
support the Sacramento Kings, but
The
right
Queens?
right now in the playoffs, I'm supporting the West Coast.
All right.
So
West Coast. So anyway, okay, the Warriors came back from a 3-1 deficit, and I said I did not give them too much of a chance to come back. I said there's no freaking way, dude. And I stand corrected. Shane Tucker, if you are watching this, you owe me Starbucks, brother, because we had that little bet. So you owe me and you still owe me Starbucks. So for the A's Yankees debacle that you got swept. Anyway, so hey, congratulations to the Warriors, and I will tell you what. I said this. I said if the Warriors come back from this 3-1, they are going to go on and win the NBA title. Now, they beat. We're having a deja vu. It's a repeat of last year's finals. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love both playing this time.
Right, you do. Now the Warriors did win that series last year, 4-2, but Kyrie Irving is injury prone.
So is Kevin Love.
I love Kevin Love. He went to UCLA. He got drafted to Minnesota. I hated to see that, but all right. So let's get some predictions. I know that you're not following it right now. So just off the top of your head, you know, we'll got the Cavaliers. We got the Warriors. We got red and gold against blue and gold. You can pick colors. You can pick mascots. You got a Cavalier, which is that little Cavalier dude. You got a Warrior.
I'm going to have to go with the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers.
For the sweep?
Oh! For the sweep. Now, I will tell you what.
It's bullshit.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Thank you. You said it for me. So, yeah, they're not going to sweep the Warriors. But I will tell you what. This is why I don't like statistics too much, because statistics show 90% of the time when a team wins in the first game, they usually go on to win that series. So the Thunder won the first game. They did not go on to win. So that is a debacle. Kevin Durant, he's going to be gone. Probably Westbrook too. So anyway, so do you think the Cavaliers, speaking of Love and Irving, do you think that they're healthy enough to win the finals? Now, I will say they will win 3 games. I think the Warriors are on fire. They're on a high. I think they take 2 at home. They're going to lose 1 in Cleveland. They're going to come back and win 1, lose 1 in Cleveland, and come back. So it might still be 4-2.
If the Warriors win Game 1, the Warriors can win in 5. If they don't win Game 1, they win in 6.
Okay. All right. So now, let's move on to MLB. And I know I said 10 minutes, but we're going to take a few more minutes here because we got another idiot in sports.
I have to roll.
Well, when you roll, how many minutes do we have? You got.
I should have been gone 20 minutes ago.
Can you give me 5 minutes? He'll give me 5 minutes. All right. So we have Marlon Byrd suspended for 162 games.
Another one.
PEDs.
Really? We just talked about this.
Growth hormone. We did. We've been talking about this almost every week.
Every week.
All right, so this guy takes growth hormone. I'm going to wrap this up in 3. I'm going to give you the speed round. So this guy, Marlon, you're an idiot, for one, and taking growth hormone, 162 games. If I was your coach, not only would I kick you off the team, but I wouldn't pay you for jack. So for those of you out there that sports, whatever, don't freaking take PEDs. Don't take growth hormones. And Barry Bonds, he is now trying to make retribution.
Man.
I will give him this, though.
He's trying.
Whatever reason that he's doing, and he says, and I quote, he says, "Me, it's on me. I'm to blame for the way I was portrayed because I was a dumbass." Those are his words, not mine. "I was straight stupid, and I'll be the first one to admit it." Bonds told that to SportsOnEarth.com last week in an interview published. Yes, Bonds, you were an idiot on some things. You were arrogant in the locker room. I mean, you were a diva. I mean, you had your own little plush seat in the locker room. But again, I'm glad that you're contrite about that, and I hope you're contrite for the right reason, not just publicity. Because Barry Bonds wants to get his name back out in the media. Because here I am talking about it.
Yeah, but where's this game?
You know what? I will say this. You didn't win a ring, so suck it. Okay, but the Royals, they have been on a 5-game win streak, so they have jumped over the White Sox. They are in first place. Now, dig this. Past week, Dodgers win, Giants win. Dodgers lose, Giants lose. So they're kind of teetering back and forth, and the Dodgers aren't gaining any momentum. They are still 4.5 games behind the Giants. And so anyway, that's a big rivalry. I'm a Dodger fan and a Yankee fan. I was born in L.A., so you're a Bay Area dude. So anyway, any last so wrap it up in about 30 seconds. Any last words of wisdom or anything? So Chris Becker joined. What's up? Sorry, Chris, we're almost done. So any last words of wisdom? Any thoughts?
Let's get me hooked up to go all the way to UFC. So fans, just add me at David Reaper 1 on Facebook. David Wright. Anyway, go ahead.
Fear the Reaper. I heard that song this morning in the gym. Sean,
oh my God.
Well, I'm just waiting for the start of the series tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. I will give Adam Saeed, he was on here, so I'm going to give a shout out to Connected Clothing, so go check him out, connectedclothing.com. Thank everybody from Texas watching, everyone all around the world, all you people on Facebook here, Facebook over here. We are going to be in Tracy for our last show. We're going to have... Friday. This Friday, we're on Wednesday now. I'm losing my brain. So we're going to have Jasper Macaro, and he's going to be on the show. So it's going to be from 5 to 7 Pacific time. Catch that. Thanks for watching. We love you guys. Peace out.